when he was on trial, and they asked him, "Are you the Christ, the Son of the Blessed?" And he said that I am. Then he quoted that. Do you think that the Jewish priests, high priests, understood what he was saying?
Well, I think for sure that you can count on the high priest knowing Daniel 7. And what's interesting is they offer him the traditional titles. Are you Mashiach, Messiah? Are you the Son of the Blessed One? Jesus says, you know, okay, that's the way you put it, but I'd prefer to say, and you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of God and coming on the clouds for judgment. Now, they knew very well that the only Son of Man said in the Old Testament to be sitting at the right hand of God or being given dominion and power by God was the one represented in Daniel 7 as the future of God's people. And so surely they would have understood this. But they also knew that throughout the Old Testament, the one who is given the right to offer final judgment on the world is God himself. And so somebody who claims to come on the clouds and offer final judgment has got to be some kind of divine figure, for sure. And this was the straw that broke the camel's back. Claiming to be a divine figure sitting on the right hand of God, coming from God and offering judgment on the world. What kind of person makes that kind of claim? Well, that was just way over the top, and that, of course, was the straw that broke the camel's back, according to the Synoptic Gospels.
From the evidence, what do you think Jesus thought about himself in terms of the purpose for his life?
Well, there were a lot of purposes for Jesus' life, but when he makes a purpose statement, like you find in Mark 10:45, the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and give his life as a ransom for many. I mean, ultimately, as Dorothy Sayers once said, Jesus was the man who came to die. He understood that it was going to require more than just pithy sayings or parables or even this miracle or that miracle for the people of God and the world to be changed. He understood that something had to be done about the sin problem. And so, you know, in the larger scheme of things, those Son of Man sayings that are in Mark 8 and 9 and 10, the Son of Man must suffer many things, be killed, and on the third day rise, that gets at the heart of what he sees as his purpose. And it's not an accident that the gospel writers, the gospels have all been called passion narratives with a long introduction. Almost half of the gospels is spent on that last crucial, critical week of Jesus' life. Why is that? This is prime time. This is where the salvation of God, according to these witnesses, is actually being wrought. Jesus, could the world have been saved if Jesus never told the parable of the Good Samaritan? Of course. Could the world have been saved if blind Bartimaeus had never received his sight? Of course. But what the early Christians did not believe is that the world could not have been saved if Jesus had not come, if he had not died, and if he had not risen again. And that's why this heavy concentration on the last week of Jesus' life, and also in the last gospel on the incarnation, the coming of Jesus in John chapter 1.
Why does the Jesus Seminar doubt that the trial of Jesus actually took place?
Well, there is a considerable debate about what the function of the Sanhedrin, the Jewish high court, really was in Jesus' day. Did they actually have a judicial function? After all, it appears clear that the Roman authority, Pontius Pilate, had reserved the right of capital punishment into his own hands. And so the idea that the Jews could try Jesus and execute him, it seems to be highly unlikely from a historical point of view. The Romans were very careful to guard capital punishment whenever they were ruling a province, and they'd keep it in their own hands. But of course, nobody is claiming, none of the Gospels are claiming, that the Jewish authorities executed Jesus. To the contrary, what they're claiming is that they tried Jesus, but then he had to be completely retried by the Roman authorities, and it was in the Romans' hands by whom Jesus was executed. And so, part of the concern of the Jesus Seminar and other scholars is to avoid anti-Semitism, avoid laying the blame for Jesus' death primarily on the shoulders of some early Jews. And I think that honorable concern is right, because we're not told that the Jews